Hello peeps of GSFD, my name is Phantom and in today's GSFD video we'll be interviewing ROBOTPRINS, the composer of many hit songs that everyone may know. Thanks for joining us, Prince. Care to explain a bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me, Phantom, and thanks for inviting me to this interview. It sounds like it can be fun to talk about myself and my music. So I'm a musician, I'm a composer, I live in Japan, but I'm from Sweden, and I make video game-ish music. I guess you could call me a chiptune artist, 8-bit music artist, but I also play the guitar. So that's who I am.
Glad to have you here, Prince. Now I will start with the questions that the staff team of GSFD prepared for the interview. This is mostly related to your music career and perhaps something related to Gwen Saga, but like I said before, mostly related to your music career. So let's start with the obvious stuff. How long have you been making music, Prince?
So I guess I started making music when I was 12 years old or something like that. I was playing the guitar and I was playing in a band. So we started to make songs back then. So that is, I'm 36 now, so that would be 24 years.
Interesting.
But as ROBOTPRINS, making chiptune music, that has been 10 years. So I think, I started in 2000, maybe it's a little bit longer. 2012, I think I started.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. What do you enjoy most about music creation?
Well, I realized at some point that I have I am good at coming up with melodies, and I enjoy making harmonies, like arranging and that kind of thing. What do I enjoy the most with music creation? It's maybe I'll change my answer a little bit. The first part of making a song, which is the inspiration, like, I want to make this song. That moment is very enjoyable. And then when the song is finished, it's also very enjoyable. Like, I had this idea and now it's finished. The in-between part, when you're doing some stuff you have to do, which sometimes is boring, maybe that is not as exciting, but you have to do it. But the first, the idea of, this could be a fun song, and the end part is, I enjoy those two parts of making music.
Yeah. Now, this is a question I really wanted to ask. What is the most difficult thing about being a musician?
Of being what?
A musician, a composer, or something.
The most difficult thing?
Yes.
What is the most difficult thing about being a musician?
Like, what do you find most difficult when you are making music?
That's a good question. I think mixing for me is the most difficult part. If you don't know what mixing is, it's the last part of a song. So I have made a song, maybe I record guitars, maybe I record bass, I record vocals, I record all these things, and I make it into a song, and it sounds like a song. But the last step is putting these things together and make them sound good together. Like, not musically, but more the balance between the different instruments. Like that part to me is the most difficult part.
Like the
And I
volume,
respect.
the volume between the instruments. You mean?
Yes, the volume, and there is something called equalizer,
Oh,
which
I know
is
about that.
like how much volume the low frequencies have, or how much volume the high frequencies have. The balance between the different instruments, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing, is the most difficult part. But that's also like the one thing where if you're good at that, then you will sound professional, I think. And I don't think I'm great at that. I'm better at making songs than that part.
Yeah.
So I should
Uh,
work more with people who are good at mixing.
Yeah, I know
And
about.
I have done sometimes too, but
I know about the mixing troubles in my project Chaos Funky Adventure. Our musicians also have a ton of problem with mixing. I think we had like one song, like half an hour of mixing after making it. Like it sounds good, but then you want to touch the little stuff so it sounds better. I know that feeling.
Oh yeah, and you're never quite satisfied. Like, maybe I should do this, maybe I should. But then if you change one thing, then that will
Change
change
most of the
a
song.
different part. And you'll, yes.
Yeah, I know
But
that
I
feeling.
really respect composers who are good at mixing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Now,
and it's something I want to get better at. Yeah.
now this is a similar question that we had. What song was the most difficult for you to write?
Oh, interesting question. The most difficult song to write. Okay, so one of the songs that come to mind now. Well, actually, I'll. This song that I'm making now for Gwen Saga, the main theme.
The
That one is
official
pretty
main theme.
difficult. Yeah, the official main theme is pretty difficult because there are so many elements. There's so many kinds of instruments and how they interact with each other.
May
Another
shall-
song that I thought of though first was a song from my album Friend Force 2, and it's called Sore Kara. It's Japanese, Sore Kara. That one is the same. It has vocals, it has trumpets, it has chiptune elements, it has guitars and drums, and it changes throughout the song. And I think I ended up having like 160 channels of different things going on at the same time. It's just so much to keep track of. It was very tricky.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Friend Force 2 really, it's a very high step up from the original Friend Force.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I can see why that song can be the most difficult one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
And also I worked with different musicians in that album, and that can also be tricky because if you're doing everything yourself, yeah, you decide things, but then if you work with others, then you have to find what are their strengths and like how can we mesh in a good way. So that can also make it difficult. But that guy I made that song with is great. I love his music. Chroma is his name. Yeah, I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, I was going to also mention that the people that work on Friend Force 2 really had a good vibe with the music you made.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, it was really cool to make songs with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I could talk more about that, but yeah, let's go to our next question. Maybe we'll get to some of that.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions about the
yes,
career
yes,
here. What has been your biggest career highlight so far?
My biggest career highlight, I think for me, so it actually leans into Friend Force 2 a little bit. I started making chiptune because of or one of the reasons I started making chiptune is because I loved the Japanese chiptune group called YMCK, and I got to play with them live a couple of years ago.
Just
and I think that was like a special moment. Very special moment.
Just wanted to let you know that you already crossed out 3 questions with that only fact. so that is
well,
funny.
but that's good though.
That's
we have many questions, so well that happens, right? But yeah, that was so cool. YMCK are great. They have always a great show when they perform live, and I got to perform with them live, and I was using a what's called a Famicom guitar.
So it's that the guitar you use for the SoundCloud profile picture you have?
Yes. I think
I knew that photo had something related to what you were saying now.
It's not my guitar. It's actually YMCK's guitar. One of the members of YMCK's guitar, and he found it online somewhere. Someone posted a picture of it and said, "This is for sale." Then he like, "Oh, can I buy this from you?" And then he got it, and now they've been using it in shows and.
I can see.
Yeah, and I got to play it. Yeah. It looks so cool. It's just a Famicom. We should have a NES guitar too, though. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, now this we really have good questions here. Do you have any advice for people who want to create music?
Oh, yes. What is good advice for people who want to create music? Well, create music. The most important thing making music is what's in your heart. Whatever. Because I used to think that music is something you learn, and you do. You do learn skills and whatnot to be able to make music, but the songs that are good is songs that somehow touched you as a person. So the good songs come from your heart, and that's not something you can learn just learning music. So don't get too stuck on how good you are as a musician, technically knowing music or something. Be more focused on your joy for music. And if you have like something that you want to try and make, then you'll find ways to be able to make it. And it can take time to get there, to get to a place where you can create something that matches with what you want to make. You'll have to study different things to get there. But there is not a right or wrong in music. So you don't have to study or learn a ton of stuff to make a good song. Yeah. Well, when I was playing guitar, when I was younger, I started listening to different guitarists, and a lot of them were very technical. And it's exciting to listening to technical musicians, and like, wow, they're really impressive. And then at some point, I'm starting thinking, because they're technical, they are good musicians. But that I don't think like that anymore. I think if you focus too much on being technical, you'll start maybe not understanding what a good song is, because good songs can be simple, and it starts with what moves you in music. So, that was a long answer. I hope.
No.
I don't know if that helped.
I really like these long answers, so we can have a more inside thought of you.
Okay. Yeah. This
Now,
was actually something I've been thinking about sometimes. Like maybe I should make a video talking about something like this for beginners.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Now, these two questions I'm going to say next, perhaps it's a bit like opinion based, but this is just gonna be sick. What are the best and worst things about being a musician?
Let me see. Just drinking some water.
It's fine.
What are the best and worst thing with being a musician? Best thing. I don't know why I find this one to be difficult to answer. What is a bad thing with being a musician? Maybe okay, so here's one thing, but that's just me. I am sensitive to sounds. So, if outside my building is loud or something, or if there is a machine or something that is noisy, like I'll pick it up right away, and it bothers me. So I know other people, they don't even notice those sounds, but I'm like, I get annoyed with certain sounds. One thing that I get annoyed with a lot is in the street when bikes, and I don't know if this is a thing. I didn't think about this when I lived in Sweden at all, but in Japan, a lot of old people in Japan, when they ride a bicycle and they put on the brakes, it sounds so loud. Like it's so it's a high pitch like sound, and it's, to me, it's super loud and it's unnecessary to do that sound. You don't need to. You can, because when I ride a bicycle, I never make that sound. But when old people in Japan are riding bicycle, they make that, and they are behind you, and then they just make that sound, and it's like, oh. But then, like my friends or something, they don't. Oh, I don't even hear it. It's like people don't seem to pick up the same sounds that I do. So I'm a bit sensitive to sounds. That's a bad part.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Sometimes, just your hearing it's too good for the moment.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not sure what a good thing with being a musician is. Of course, it's great to be able to make music, listen to music, and all of this. But well.
no, this question is perhaps a tad personal, but it's really interesting to see. Have there been any times where you thought you wanted to quit making music?
No, good question.
Like, was there any moment you just felt like stopping making music or something like that?
No, not really. I have music has never been painful for me or anything. Like, music has never made me bored or there has never been a reason for me to quit making music. But it's also it's not too serious for me either. Even though I love making music, it's fine to take a break a little bit, but it's not like I want to quit making music. Maybe I don't take it too seriously, but it is a big part of my life, of course. But like I don't have to be a certain musician or creator or something, so there is no reason for me to stop.
I really like that mindset.
I wonder what a person who feels like, I want to quit making music, I wonder why they would want to quit making music.
Well, I had some people related to me that also tried making and composing music. It's more like the beginning from where they are trying to find what they're good at, and sometimes they just can't find the thing that ticks on their head, like this is what I wanted to do. So it's kinda escaping the limbo of trying many different things and just find what you like. Like I see that you started already liking chiptune stuff, and just had in mind that you like chiptune and you want to make chiptune.
Yeah.
So some people I know tried like making vocal songs or tried to make also chiptune, but at the end of the day they kinda not really saying give up, but they just can't continue making this testing, you know. So it's kinda like the persistence of the people, for in my point of view.
Well, I mean, for me, I mean, if you don't have anything you want to make, then yeah, there's no point in making it, you know? So maybe that's the issue for some people, that they don't really have ideas for things they want to make. I always have ideas. That's never an issue for me. The issue is I don't have time to make them, but or like I have a difficulty like scheduling making everything. But as far as ideas goes, it's like there are always ideas that excite me.
I can see. I can really relate to finding a motive for making the things you want. Like many times, there has been like a really detailed or complex event I wanted to do for the server, but many times it's just the thought of, will the people be interested on the idea, or will it have the popularity I'm trying to search. So it's more finding the middle ground of not hyping yourself up with the things you want to do, and then just do it, and don't expect the popularity that you were going to have at first.
Like, that's a good mindset.
Like the Thank You Geo event we had like months back. I wasn't expecting a lot of people to show up, but in the premiere we have the voice chat with almost 40 people talking almost at the same time, to the point I had to say, please, can we shut up for a moment so we can hear the video? and then see the start of, I don't know how to say it, but I don't know how to say it, but seeing how the video did well, that really makes you feel good.
It is great when something you have put in a lot of effort to, like when you see people liking it and sharing their comments about it, like that's very inspiring, and it motivates me to continue doing my stuff. But that it isn't always the case, you know.
Sometimes you just want to do it and you do it.
Yeah. There are definitely songs like that for me where it was just something that was on my heart, and I wanted to make it, and I put it out there, and maybe a few people liked it, but it wasn't like a popular song or anything. But somehow it was important for myself to make it. And in general, that's more important to me than what else.
Like,
thinks. But I there is a balance there, though, because if no one was like enjoying my music, I would probably not be motivated enough to continue making music. Maybe,
Just leaving clear to the people just watching the video and stuff, I really recommend seeing Prince's other work that isn't like Ike Baby or Fight Chili with Chili, because other songs like Downside Up or like in Friend Force, my two favorites are Blue and Wow. Those songs I really suggest to also hear the songs that Prince have. Like he's not only he didn't only make Ike Baby or Fight Chili with Chili, he also made really good songs that I hear weekly.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's
I
nothing.
appreciate
I mean, I should thank you for making the song at first.
That's cool though. Yeah, I mean, it's cool when you think about it like that. If people are listening to my music and it brings some kind of, positive atmosphere to people's life, then that is really
I can really
a
say
nice thing I did. Yeah.
I can really say a
Yeah.
lot of people is hearing your music and enjoying it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, I feel that way about other people's music, so I understand. Yeah, it's cool.
Now let's start joining the fandom questions a little bit. Like, is there anything you like about the Gwen Saga community?
Oh well, so the Gwen Saga community has been a huge part of my recent growth as an artist, I guess. Just because before, let's see, 3 years ago or something, I was making music like for a long time, 10 years. But my YouTube channel, I had maybe like 400 subscribers 3 years ago, and now I have almost 4,000. And it's grown a lot because people who watch Gwen Saga, they also go to my channel and subscribe. And it's because of the Gwen Saga community that I'm growing on YouTube and Spotify and these kind of platforms.
Yeah, I can see
I wouldn't have that without the Gwen Saga community, for sure. So I'm very thankful. And in general, people are being very nice, very supportive, and help me out with stuff sometimes. My Discord channel, that was just a suggestion from one person who was watching my live stream. He said, do you have a Discord channel? I said no, so I could make one for you if you want to. And okay. And now, there's a lot of people in this channel now, so, or the server.
I think I may know that person.
Yes. I wonder where he is.
Yeah. But I can see that the Gwen Saga community just really helped you out on moving to other people. Like I said before on the other question, like your other works. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one hearing like Frankfurt 2 or your other works. I guess people just saw Ike Baby or Fight City with City in Gio's video and just said, oh, that is a really good song. I wonder if there is more like similar to this, and just go to see your work.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, of course, it's because of Geo that any of this happened, though. Maybe there's a question about that later, so
we do have a question for that later.
Okay.
The community questions are really interesting. So we are going to like in 2-3 questions we are going to jump in the community questions.
All right.
Okay, now this is a nice one to know. Are you active in any other fan base other than the Gwen Saga community?
Not really. Yeah. No, I mean, do you mean that I am making something for something else, or that I'm a fan of something and
Yes,
I'm part of that community?
Just related to other community, like outside of the Gwen Saga fandom, is there any other stuff you may like that you are interested in? Perhaps you do something similar like the Gwen Saga.
I guess I'm not aware of other. Like, I watch a lot of anime and I watch movies and I watch drama series and this kind of stuff, but I'm not maybe that aware of Oh well, so maybe there are some things that I sometimes think about, like, oh, maybe I could make a song for them or something. Like, just I watch. I'm also a huge basketball fan.
Yeah.
I watch NBA a lot. I've been following NBA for the last 10 years or so. When I listen to different NBA podcasts, and I've thought sometimes, like, oh, maybe I could make a song for this podcast I listen to, like that kind of thing. Sometimes, but something similar to Gwen Saga, there's probably nothing that I am aware of. If there was something that my music was fit, then sure, that might be cool. But I guess I'm enjoying my different things that I just watch myself. There are also some like indie games. I play some different indie games.
Yeah.
So there are probably some channels that review indie games and that kind of thing. Maybe that's something, that kind of thing that I could work with. I'm not sure.
I can relate with the idea of sticking with the main community you work with, like the Gwen Saga community. I'm also really just stick around the community. Like I do jump on other stuff or fan bases, but they don't really stick just like how the Gwen Saga community does. It's like it's your home, like in a sense. Like there is really the visiting other communities is like a trip of some sorts.
I wouldn't even know which the other fan bases would be. So
yeah. All right, now we can jump on the most interesting questions that I find, the community questions. Now I'm going to mention that not every question we had on the channel that people suggested as questions made it into the ones we chose. But I think that for the questions we chose for this interview, I think it's the most interesting ones. For example, we are still doing a kind of tough question because my friend Sneaky Stick also said some really interesting questions. Like, for example, how did you come up with your original character?
Yes. I think I've explained this a couple of times on my live streams.
Yeah.
But okay, so here is the story. So my artist's name is ROBOTPRINS. And 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted to start making chiptune, and well, the reason why I wanted to make a chiptune album in the first place was I wanted to go to an event called M3, which is a music market, and there people would come to a desk that I would have, and I could sell my CD to them. So that they have this event in Tokyo in Japan. So I really wanted to be there, but I would need to have my own CD to do it, right? And I hadn't make a CD. So I was like, okay, I got to make a mini album now. And I want to make chiptune. But I don't have an artist name. What should I do? So I sent an email to my cousin and asked him, hey, do you have any good idea for an artist name? And then he responded, what about Little Prince? And Little Prince is the name of a novel, a book about...
it's very popular actually in Spain.
Yeah.
It's called El Pequeño Principito in our place, but I know the book you're talking about.
Maybe the original language is not even English. I
don't even know if
it's like
Spanish.
French or something, or Spanish. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he said that, and the reason why he said that is because when in Japan, I was as a part-time job, I was an English teacher, and when they introduced me to the class before I came in, the person who introduced me said, "Well, today's teacher is the Prince." So my nickname was the Prince among the students and like the staff there, because they think I look like a typical prince.
I can tell.
So I didn't even understand that, like when I was teaching. But then someone told me, "Hey, by the way, your nickname is Prince." It's like, what? And then I was kind of offended. It's like, why do you think I look like a prince? Am I not masculine enough or whatever? But then I thought, well, it's kind of funny too. So I told my cousin about that, and that's why he said, "Well, what about Little Prince, the artist name being Little Prince?" And I said, I don't know. I don't feel like it's chiptune at all. You know, it should have something to do with, you know, robots or this kind of thing. So,
and then it
Prince
clicks in your head.
is funny though. Like it's a funny. That's like my nickname here. So some kind of mix there would be nice. So then I said, well, what about Robot Prince? Maybe we'll go with Robot Prince. And he said, yeah, sure. Do what you want to do. And I said, okay, my artist name is Robot Prince. Let's go with that. And then, yeah, that's history.
Just wanted to let you know that you answered like 2 other questions we had. Like the next question was, how did you come up with the name Robot Prince? You somehow jump between questions, which I really just like how that happens.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Don't worry,
well,
it was from the same person.
The character, though, is I just thought it would be more interesting for me to make music to a character. And my cousin is good at making stories. So I asked him, can you make a story? And then I'll make music to your story. And that's how, like, the character of Robot Prince evolved. So he was writing these stories for my EPs, and I kind of made some of the songs just because I wanted to see what kind of story he would write. So
it's like the thing we were talking just recently, the motive, the need to make a song. I can see now why you were so invested on making the songs.
Yeah. I had different reasons why. Like, one is this event that was twice a year, M3. I wanted to bring a new thing each time. So I was like, okay, we gotta make something new for the next event. And then I wanted to read his stories, right?
Yeah.
So like different things like this kept me going and making more stuff.
Now, next question is made by a user called Stonks. How does it feel to make music, and how did it feel when you got your music in a Gwen Saga episode?
How does it feel to make music? Well, making music, it's like any creative idea that you might have. So maybe it's not very different. It's something exciting about having an idea that just comes to you and then making it happen. That it's
I know that
this
feeling.
This process is like so much more. It feels so much more important than other things that you have to do in a day. You know, this is more like pure or something. Like that feeling towards working on something is more exciting than, you know, you go to school or whatever and have to study geography. It's like you have to do it, but making a song is like you get an idea somehow your brain is making these ideas, and it's like, and you get excited about it and want to make it into a thing. Then he asked, how did it feel to have my song in Gwen Saga? Should I explained how my song was used in Gwen Saga in the first place? I think maybe you have heard this story before.
Well,
Because I didn't understand it at first. So
yeah, well,
it's not like, oh, my song is used for Gwen Saga. Like, I didn't know what Gwen Saga was. So
I was going to also mention that Vagobus Jr., the man, the legend, asks,
Yeah.
how is your friendship with UX and Weatherweights? Do you like working with them, or would you work again with them in the future? Basically, the story of you meeting with them and what is your relationship with them right now.
yeah,
Which is kinda related.
Geo and Weather Witch.
It's kind of related to the question you were asking right now, so perhaps we should answer it right now.
Yes. Okay. So Geo, he I've been making music for 10 years. Sometimes people find my music on SoundCloud or YouTube or wherever. And then they send me a direct message and ask, "Hey, can I use your music for my video?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Okay. Just mention me in the description." Like, that's usually what I would answer. And then like one of the guy used my song in a video where he was like playing with his dog or whatever, just something. And then he sent it to me like, this is the
Now we need to
video
find
I
that
made.
video.
I was just giving an example because I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was
Yeah.
something like that. It wasn't and then like 10 people watch it.
People of Gwen Saga, we need to find that video.
Yeah, but then so that's kind of how Geo approached me. He just on Twitter he sent me a message and it's like, "Hey, I'm a huge fan of your music. Would it be okay if I use your song "If I Chill with Chili" in my video?" And then I said, "Yeah, sure. I'm happy to hear that you like my music, and you can use it in your video, but please write my name in the description and a link to my homepage or to my SoundCloud page or something like that." And then he said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then I didn't hear from him I didn't hear from him necessarily in a while. But one day, and I was in Sweden this day. Actually, I was visiting my home country, and then I noticed my phone was blowing up, and Twitter. I got a lot of notifications, and that's very rare for me because I usually don't get like mentions and that kind of thing on Twitter. And it's like, what is going on? What is this? And then apparently If I Chill with Chili was used in episode 7, and a lot of people liked it. And I was like, what is this? Oh wait, yeah, maybe it's that guy from half a year ago that asked if he can use my song in his video. And then that's where I found out about Gwen Saga, and I watched the episode. And then I watched like all of the episodes.
This is just a really little question about me. How was your reaction about hearing your music to the scene of Marlo and Luna fighting?
Yeah, I thought it was super cool.
Like, how was your feeling about, oh damn, my song is really like an anime fighting music for this thing?
Oh yeah, it's I watch a lot of anime, so that's sort of how it felt, like, oh, it's one of these epic fights.
Yeah.
And my music is being used in the fight. It's like, wow. And and also, it's just funny watching those videos anyway, with all the references to old video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I like. So it was like it was just entertaining watching the series for me, like from the beginning. But the fight scene, seeing that my music was used like that, and I had no idea that was what he wanted it for. Like, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I was amazed.
Well, you already answered another question, because we had one question from that one for GT asking that what got you interested in the Gwen Saga series.
Yeah, no, I had no idea what it was.
I guess it was mostly around Gwen Saga series interesting you than you getting interested in Gwen Saga.
Yeah.
So it was
So,
a
like
reversal.
after that, yep, I had no idea what it was, and there was my music used in it, and yeah, but it's good. My music works for the series, so then I think I texted Gio after that and said, hey, this video is amazing. I'm really happy you used my song in this. It's like we should work again on something.
And I see how the rest is history.
Yeah. I wonder how did me and Weather Witch start?
I
That
see.
one I don't. Now I can't recall.
I see
How
this
did we
part
start?
is
Yeah.
mostly like business stuff of Gio being the person that mostly organized all this kind of stuff. So I see you didn't have that much talking with Weather Witch.
No, but I think she might have sent me a message telling me, "Hey, I love your song, and your music
Yeah.
in Gwen Saga," or something like that. I think maybe that's how we started talking. I would have to look at our first interactions. And yeah, how did we? And then maybe she mentioned like, "Oh, we should do a song together," or something like that. But now I'm like, I'm not even sure if that's how it happened.
Yeah, the piano stuff happened just because the internet said so.
Yeah.
I really like how that went. It was like, wow, funny Ami doing piano and you make a little instrumental.
Oh.
And then
Yeah,
Weather
yeah.
Witch goes, oh, that instrumental is very cool. I'm going to make vocal about it. And then she makes it, and people love it. And then you guys both go, oh, this sounds so cool. We should make it an extended version.
Yeah. Well, it was great because like I watched the video that Gio made, and that inspired me to like, oh, let's try and make this song now. I just thought of something like, let's do something, and I also thought, let's not think too much about this. Let's just make something because he just put it out. It's better to then put something to it while it's fresh.
Basically doing it for the funnies.
Yeah. So then I said, let's just something, and I think he would be happy if I did. And but then Weather Witch, yeah, she was inspired by what I made, so something natural came from her adding to it, and she came up with that melody and the text and things. So yeah, that's how it should be. It doesn't always work well like that, but when it does, it's nice.
Yeah, I can see how this just escalated and just worked around. That was cool to see.
Yeah, because we still haven't finished it. Probably tomorrow I'll do a live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a long time now, but I will do one tomorrow.
Thank you.
I don't know when this video will come out. Yeah.
Now, thank you. I need to work today on the video, so it makes sense.
Sorry about that.
No. I just really like another motive to just make it the video today. That is funny.
Yes. Don't forget to watch my live stream tomorrow.
What a nice plug-in.
Yeah.
I was also going to mention that about your live streams and stuff, because a person called Nubling asked, how many new soundtracks are you composing for the newest episode of Gwen Saga?
So I think in total 3.
You don't need to go in detail if you can. Just knowing that there are 3 songs just makes me a bit hyped about knowing how it's gonna be.
Well, you know two of them. The third one is one that may be used or may not be used, but I haven't live streamed it or anything. But
I see.
it's also not it's not a very it's a short song. So we'll see. Maybe it will be used.
Hiding the
And
funny
you
stuff.
never know how Geo wants to use music either. You know. Actually, for like episode 8, he first asked about a different song.
Oh,
I want to use this song, but then in the end he used Icky Baby, and that's
You
yeah.
know,
So
it's really interesting seeing this, let's say, business side about the making of the Gwen Saga episodes. Like, we now know there are 3 songs. We may need to not know about the third one, but now we know that Gio also wanted to make something for 008, which is just really interesting in my point of view.
it all, you know, Geo is the mastermind here. Whatever he thinks works, you know.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see.
happy with that. If he wants to, if he doesn't feel like the songs I've made work and something else is better, you know, that's also fine, you know. But it seems like 2 of the songs will be used. That's yeah.
Okay, let me see what the.
But he doesn't like talk to me about the progress of the video or something like that. So I don't know what's going on. Sometimes people ask me, "Oh, when is it coming out?" It's like I don't know. He doesn't
When it's
talk
done.
to me about it. Yeah, whenever it's done, and maybe he's done 5%, maybe he's done 50%. Don't know. So
I see.
and yeah,
Just leaving a funny reminder that other people working on with the Geo may not know how many progress we have on the episode and stuff. Patience is the key. It's
Yep.
just that. Now this is a very good question from Court of Spades. He asked, is it more fun to use physical instruments for songs or just a good old music program?
In general, for me, it is more fun to use like a digital program, just working on it on computer, because I feel like I'm more in control when I do it. It's fun to play musical instruments with friends and jam and sing maybe silly songs, or you know, this kind of thing. I love doing that. But as far as making a song, one of the things that annoys me sometimes is when I can't get my guitar tuned right. And it's like I can't record it, like it sounds a bit off or something, and then I have to record it many times before it sounds good, and then it just becomes like tedious to me. So I'm like, I prefer doing stuff just programming it, because it's easier to get the result that I want. But sometimes, you know, it can be fun to play instruments too. But I wouldn't say that I'm that good at it.
Talking about music programs, Rich Button asked, what program do you use to make 8-bit music, like Fight City with City?
So I use the software I use, the DAW as it's called, Digital Audio Workstation. Oh, maybe not. That's what it's called. I don't know what the abbreviation is, but DAW. I use Cubase, and in Cubase you have instruments, and the instrument I use is called YMCK Magical 8-bit Plug, and that is what I use to make Chili with Chili. Like, that is the instrument that I use. That I think, except for maybe the kick and the snare, it's all made with the Magical 8-bit Plug. which is a free plugin that you can use for any DAW that you use. So you just have to know how to use it, but it's not that difficult to use. There are many other similar instruments out there, but that's the one that I used, and it sounds pretty authentic. It sounds like NES, or it sounds like Game Boy, that kind of sound.
I really like how we now we can jump seamlessly our question from question, because now Aubrey to the past really ask, do you use sound phones or I don't know how to say it, but it's like VSTs?
Yes, VST. It's a VST plugin. Magical AP plug is a VST plugin.
I see. Here, Aubrey also asked that if that did you learn music theory in class by self-teaching, or do you know none?
I learned music theory in high school. So I went to a pretty interesting high school where we had music theory 2 years, I think. So I was learning a lot about the basics of music theory, which was super good for me. It just made sense to me after learning the basics. The puzzle, like when I was learning guitar, it's hard to understand music theory on the guitar. Just it doesn't make sense. You can't look at it clearly. But when you learn music theory in class, which I did in high school, we used the piano, and everything is easy to see. Just visually, you can understand how notes relate to each other, and it just all clicked for me there. Probably because I was really interested in it in the first place, and I had so many questions, like I didn't understand how it all worked, and then I learned, and I wouldn't say that I know everything about music theory, but I learned enough that now I can explore it myself and use it to make music and to be able to make the kind of music that I want.
Yeah. At least you have it more complex stuff, like at least you are learning guitar and stuff. In Spain, for some reason, people really just like flutes and stuff, so we just learned about playing flutes. Like not even not even like clarinet and stuff, like the wood flute, and that's it. That's kind of fun.
That's the only instrument you have.
Yes.
Yes.
And for some reason people are really good at it.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of from our culture.
I mean, if you play a flute, the issue as far as music theory goes is you will not have. It will be very difficult to understand the overall, view of music.
Yeah.
Because you'll be focusing on like, oh, I put 3 fingers here and I put 2 fingers here, and then it's this note, but on the piano, like everything is laid out, so it's easy to see. So I think if you're playing the flute, it's gonna be difficult to understand more basic chord progressions or like anything, scales, and
I think
that's why I was just so confused when I was playing the guitar.
I think the mini problem with the flute is that it's so easy to learn that then it's hard to really understand other stuff like the piano or the guitar, because I also tried to play the guitar myself, but I was expecting the difficulty from playing the flute, but now I see that chords exist, that I need to put my finger on this exact place and then linger it or something like that. It's just like a different whole language trying other instruments.
Yeah. Also, you focus so much when you play those instruments. You focus so much on sheet music, which is fine. It's just I'm not. To me, reading sheet music is not that interesting.
Yeah.
Like I prefer just having music theory basic ideas, and then I can look at the piano, I can see how things relate to each other. But music sheet music tends to make it more confusing for me sometimes.
I see.
Well, this topic is whatever. Yeah, let's go.
It's more
into something
it's
else.
more general
Yeah.
topic at this point. But now this is a real good question. Maker Kido or Mark for myself ask, when composing music, what do you normally make first as the base for the whole song?
This is how you can start making a song from different places. What tends to work the best for me is if I start with the melody. If I start with the melody, it tends to become more sincere. Because if I start with bass and chords, when I try to add a melody to that, it becomes more like I should have a melody here. So then I'm trying to fit in a melody to the thing that I already made. But when I start with a melody, I don't have any other parts, so I'm completely free to do whatever melody I want to do. And melodies also, for me at least, is something that I usually don't try to make. It's more something that comes to me when I'm going for a walk, or I'm in the shower, or sometimes good melodies come up in my brain, and then I'm like, oh, I should make this into a song.
Like you said questions before, it's more like about the feel you have. Like it comes from not really thinking it hard, but more like your heart.
Yeah. That it's somehow. So here's my thought about melodies. I think melodies is. There can probably only be so many melodies in the world. The way that I come up with a melody is I have listened to like millions and millions of melodies in my life, and then my brain somehow makes connections, a mix of what I've listened to, and spits out something slightly different, I guess. And then that's what I hear in my brain, and it feels nostalgic to me. That's probably because I've already listened to that melody in another song, but it becomes a slightly different thing when I make it. But it happens automatically like that. And that's why it is my feeling is attached to it. It is from music that someone else made that made me feel a certain way, I think. This is hard to explain.
I can see. It's also kind of related to also another question from Maker Kido. That is, how many times have you completely scrapped something when composing?
Oh yeah, I have done that countless times.
I can tell.
Like it's sometimes it's just I try to make something and then it's not there. It doesn't excite me. It's not. I could continue and make it. The thing is, I used to work. It's different now, but I used to work for a company where I was making a song as a living.
Yeah.
And when I was doing that, I needed to finish songs. But, every day you don't always have a good idea. So you'll make something because you have to. And it becomes not so exciting. It becomes strange, I guess.
Yeah.
But the good thing with doing that kind of a job is you become a little bit faster at making music, and you know how to navigate the tools that you need. So that's good. But I mean, if I was making it just for myself, I would probably scrapped a lot of those songs because they were not something that interested me, or it was not exciting. I didn't have a feeling for it. Maybe at first I had an idea, but then somehow, yeah, it didn't. I couldn't make it.
I can see
Then
that.
it's maybe sometimes it's good to scrap something and then like let's move on with something that actually I'm interested in.
Yeah.
feel good about.
I can see that you are kind of answering another question that, and I swear I'm not kidding with the name. Vibrant Ass says, yeah, ask the question that would you ever consider working for big companies and corporations? But I see you kind of answered your question with your mini story here.
Yeah. At this moment, I'd prefer to just make music at my own pace, and of course, I want some more time to make music. Maybe in the future, I will have like I could work part time with my other job and do some more music, but it's there might be a company where I could do like working for a bigger one where they understand something where they give me creative freedom and also think that I have something that would work for them. But in general, yeah, I prefer to have the freedom to work on the stuff that I want to make.
I can see why now working with you is more of your field, because it's not really as serious as big companies or corporations.
Yeah, exactly.
You are just two guys making funny stuff, and you just really like to.
That's the best. That's the best way. Like it's the best. Yeah, I love collaborating like this. Like someone is good at making videos, then I'm good at making music, and then we can collaborate making something together. That kind of where both are doing it because we want to explore what we are good at creatively. So I think that is the best combination.
I can see that you just really like being an indie composer.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Well, I'm starting to be almost out of questions because we
I think I'm
very quickly.
you asked me one question and I answered 3. That has been the theme.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Well, now this is just really a question I'm having in mind right now. What do you think about the future of your music career when Gwen Saga ends? Because as we know, the last episode of Gwen Saga is going to be the one that you is working right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hope we can continue and make other things related. Like I can probably work with Weather Witch or other voice actors or something on just different kinds of songs related to the Gwen Saga universe.
You can work with Geo's Funky Adventure if you want.
With what?
With Geo's Funky Adventure, the thingy I said.
Yes. Wait, that hasn't been released yet, right?
No, we are still working on it, but we are. Let's say we are in a limbo of being very close to finishing it, but we have minor problems.
I see.
Still, I think people are going to like it.
I always have ideas for things that I want to make. Well, one of the things is I want to continue and work on my YouTube channel and hopefully it can grow some more and I can have some more time to make stuff. I really enjoyed the Fight Chili with Chili music video I made with my friend. Like those kind of things is very fun to make.
Yeah, I can
so
see.
It's not a song that I'm making, but it's making videos is also something that I hope I can do more. But I also want to make more music would be fun to make some more music with Rymdkraft at some point. We made Ike Baby together. We also made Wow. And
Okay, now I
Kunoi
just
Chipi
noticed.
Pipi.
Now I just noticed that all my life I have been saying Ike Baby wrongly. It's Ike Baby.
Oh, well, yeah. Actually, a lot of people say that wrong. That's because it comes from the Japanese Ike, which
Oh, I see.
it's from the word ikemen, which means handsome guy.
What a
Ikemen.
handsome song.
Yeah, and then Ike Baby. I guess when I was making this song, I was watching an anime about a baby that was a
Handsome.
mafia. No, he was like a mafia boss.
Oh, what a handsome baby.
So he was a handsome baby, and then somehow, I thought, okay, this song is called Ike Baby. There's no real connection there, but it's just you have to have a name for a song, and I was watching that at the time.
Now
So that's why it's called Ike Baby.
thank you. Now every time I'm going to hear this song, I am
What is it
just
called?
going to-
Reborn, I think it's the anime.
I think I'm going to just be hearing Ike Baby, and then just having in my mind the boss baby with a mafia hat.
I'm just checking now. Reborn. That is the name of the anime.
I think the name kinda lingers on my brain right now. But yeah, I can see the inspiration. I can see that your music career isn't really going to stop after 009 comes out.
Yeah.
Let's hope that the
So like I want to make a lot of videos for YouTube and then collaborate with some of the people that I made songs with before,
yeah.
and maybe record some more guitar versions of some of my old songs. There are some more songs that would work well with guitar. So maybe at some point I'll also make an actual chiptune EP, because I haven't released just a normal chiptune EP in a very long time.
Yeah. I can really also see the piano versions, like the ones you did with Ike Baby.
Ah, yeah. Wait, did I release that?
You didn't. Yeah, just fun fact, for the
Yeah.
Thank You Gio video, I wanted to use the Ike Baby version, piano version that you made for the New Year's video and stuff. And I had
right.
And I had to literally go to that video and download it because there wasn't any other official media.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
good suggestion from me. Perhaps you should release it.
Yeah, well, maybe I will release that piano version or record a new one of it at some point and
Sounds
release
neat.
that on Spotify and YouTube and whatnot.
Alright.
Yeah,
I
I also
will-
want to record more videos of me playing the guitar on my YouTube channel at some point. That kind of thing is probably nice. Yeah.
Alright, I'm officially out of questions. Congratulations, you really answered like 3 questions on one.
I finished the last boss. I
Yippee.
did it. Yay.
But yeah, I'm really out of questions. We really just had really interesting topics in this interview.
Yeah, that was fun. I love the graphics that you guys put together. It's very nice.
Yeah. Just looking for the people that may ask. The background and assets are made by Zara, but then our characters were made by Bindela. I'm probably going to
Oh.
edit that in the video.
Right. Okay, so I didn't know that the background was made by Chara. Cool.
Yeah, the background and the table and the chairs are made by Zara. He really just doesn't
Oh.
stop appearing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to finish the the video, since we really don't have any more questions. I have in check. So many thanks for joining us today, Prince.
Yeah, thank you so much, Phantom, and thanks to everyone listening to this.